Hey guys, welcome back to another Spy Family Sunday. Today we're here to talk about Spy Family Chapter 84. I really feel like Indo Sensei is really hitting his stride with this arc. The pacing has been amazing, the chapters have been amazing, and we're getting so much information and character development and plot moving forward. It's just great. So yeah, before I jump into it, I just want to remind everybody that I am doing a giveaway on the channel. All you have to do to enter is be subscribed to the channel, drop me a like, leave me a comment. I will be giving away a $50 Crunchyroll gift card. So if that sounds exciting to you, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. So this chapter starts right where we left off, where Fiona is confronting Agent Wheeler. Agent Wheeler, of course, he's not going to go down without a fight. He's like, hey, I'll give you the backpack if you let me go. Fiona's like, nice try, we're taking you in with us. Agent Wheeler then states that he doesn't have the information they're looking for and that it's back at the hotel. Of course, none of these tricks are going to work on Agent Fiona. She's like, we know you've probably memorized the information that we're seeking, so you're coming with us. The agent that's working with Fiona ties Agent Wheeler's hands behind him, and he gives this guy a compliment. He's like, hey, good job. You know, considering you guys are in the East, they're basically getting ready to take Agent Wheeler to a holding cell, and he quickly maneuvers out of it. Agent Wheeler jumps up, yanks the agent that's holding him, basically pushing him in front of him, and then putting him in a headlock. And he's like, hey, let me go or I'm gonna snap this guy's neck. Fiona's unfazed by this. She's like, look, we know the risk coming into this country from the beginning, so this is not going to help your situation. Off to the distance, there's another agent that pulls around the corner and he says, Red 3. Everybody's distracted by this. Agent Wheeler is then able to pick up the knife and jump over the bridge. But before Fiona can really react to this, he cuts the rope off of his wrist and then sends the knife flying back at Fiona, and it flies into the barrel of Fiona's gun, which is insane. And so he's like, well, I guess this is goodbye. He runs into the sewers, and automatically I'm thinking, oh my god, he's gonna run into Yuri and he's gonna run into Agent Twilight. So he runs into the sewers. Fiona gives chase. She's like, hey, get this guy medical attention, I'm gonna go after him, because Fiona is determined to catch this guy. She's like, we cannot let this guy slip away from us. I'm doing this for Agent Twilight. I can't let peace between East and West deteriorate. She's like, I will die for Twilight to see his dream come true. And it's really interesting because it's like, wow, when did she evolve into this mindset? Not only is she willing to die and be without Twilight, she's just willing to do that for him. But then, of course, when we see the inner workings of Fiona's mind, she has this fantasy about dying in Twilight's arms, and then Yor's there for some reason. She's like, hey Lloyd, what's wrong? And he's like, oh, the love of my life just died. And Yor's like, it's fine, I'll help you forget about her. And this fantasy is what snaps Fiona back to reality. She's like, oh no, never mind, I have to live, I have to succeed. Having Yor be the one to comfort Lloyd after she dies is enough to break her away from this mindset that she was in. And she's like, you know what, never mind. This mission is a go. We have to succeed. You know, like, we're back to the Fiona we know, the one who's obsessed with Lloyd, who's just head over heels, and I'm gonna do anything for this man. And so Fiona is casing the sewerways, looking for Wheeler. She's trailing him. It then cuts to Twilight, and he's like, you know, if I go this way, I'll be able to meet up with the other team. He's holding his arm, you know, because he's still hurt from his fight with Yuri. And he hears footsteps, and he's like, somebody's being pursued. Could it be Agent Wheeler? Did Fiona come down here? All of these scenarios are running through his mind. And so while he's trying to deduce what's happening with the footsteps, Agent Wheeler comes from behind and almost slams him in the face with a brick. And Agent Twilight goes flying back and he's like, ah! Agent Wheeler is standing there and he's just sort of like ... about the situation. Twilight's like, hey, no, just hold on a second. I'm with SSS. And so Twilight shows Agent Wheeler his idea, his request, and suddenly Twilight is just kicked into a wall. And Agent Wheeler is like, you should know how to decipher different footsteps. Did you really think I wouldn't notice? So basically, Agent Wheeler is just somebody not to be messed with. He's just as good as Twilight, if not better. And he's like, okay, so this is the face you've chosen to wear. Agent Wheeler's like, you know, you should know better than that. We've worked on cases before, or don't you remember? But I've never actually seen your face, Agent Twilight, so why don't you show me that illustrious face of yours? And so then the scene cuts from that, and we see Fiona coming in at the last second, and you just see Twilight beaten to a pulp with Agent Wheeler over him, and he's like, oh, it's the woman from before. So this is the only part of the chapter that either I missed something, but Fiona recognizes Yuri Breyer. She's like, that's Yuri Breyer, that's Yuri Breyer, that's Yuri Breyer, that's Yuri Breyer. And I don't think they have ever met or even been in the same vicinity. So either Fiona knows about Yuri Breyer through just Operation Strix in general, which is what I'm thinking, because she knows about Yor. But the reaction to seeing Yuri Breyer is what's confusing me, because she's like, no, 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 this is Yuri Breyer. It kind of got me thinking, did they ever meet before? Is there something that we're not aware of? So there's a giant question mark about that. And maybe I'm looking too much into it, but her reaction seemed a bit much for somebody that she shouldn't know. And so Agent Wheeler is basically just holding Lloyd by the back of the head, and he's like, you know what? I haven't even gotten to the best part. And so he starts to rip the mask off of Twilight's face, and Fiona isn't having any of it. Like, she is pissed. And she slams her foot on the ground. These rats go scurrying everywhere, and she just looks like she's ready to go into beast mode. She's like, how dare you do this to Agent Twilight? And that's just how the chapter ends. So it was a great chapter, lots of action, lots of unexpected twists. I feel like this is Fiona's time. I really hope she comes through. So as far as predictions for next chapter, I feel like we honestly might get a flashback for Fiona, because again, her reaction to seeing Yuri Breyer just doesn't make sense to me, considering they've never had any interaction that we know of. So, I mean, was Fiona trying to tell herself, like, no, 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 this is Breyer, it couldn't possibly be Twilight, there's no way Twilight would let himself get captured like that, and so she's just in denial? Was that the reason her reaction was so visceral? So, I mean, that I could have just answered my own question. I mean, maybe that's why she was just so, no, 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 this is Yuri Breyer, there's no way this can be Twilight. So, I mean, that is a possibility. But I think Fiona is definitely going to pop off. I mean, she's already snapped, and now that she realizes that this is Twilight, you know, Wheeler is either going to get really messed up by her, or they're just going to just really go at it. I feel like Wheeler is still going to get away, despite how fiercely Fiona wants to capture this guy, not only for the mission, but for Agent Twilight. And so I hope Fiona isn't just reacting emotionally. I hope she's going in with a plan. We don't want Fiona to get hurt. We want everybody to go home after this mission. So I think next chapter is gonna be intense. So great chapter. I just want to thank everybody who's supported me on the channel, and thank you guys so much for listening to my review of this chapter. And until next time, remember to be awesome and stay true.